Top 9 snake plant care tips: watering, repotting, soil, fertilizing, and more. Hello, plant lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, your sanctuary for everything green, grounding, and deeply rewarding. Whether you're a total beginner with just one tiny succulent on your windowsill, or someone who's slowly transforming their apartment into an indoor jungle, today's episode is for you. We know you. You care about the energy in your space. You want plants that not only look stunning, but also purify your air, support your well-being, and ask for very little in return. And maybe, like many of us, you've chosen the mighty snake plant to start or strengthen your plant journey. But here's the truth most people miss. This tough-looking plant has needs too. And if you meet them right, it will reward you with growth, resilience, and even blooms. So today, I'm sharing 9 essential snake plant care tips that go far beyond the basics. We'll talk about watering, soil, light, but also energy, intention, and how your plant can become a mirror of your care. If that sounds like your kind of vibe, make sure to hit subscribe, because here on Earthly Delights, we grow with purpose. Ready? Let's begin. Tip 1. Know the snake before you grow. Choosing the right plant. Before we dive into watering schedules or soil mixes, let's rewind to where the journey really begins, picking the right snake plant. Because believe it or not, this moment can shape everything that follows. Picture yourself at the garden center or scrolling online. You're drawn to the tall, sword-like leaves, some striped like tiger's skin, others silver like moonlight. But beyond the beauty, not all snake plants are created equal. Some grow tall and architectural like the black coral. Others stay compact and cozy like the bird's nest. And then there's the rare whale fin, bold, slow-growing, and utterly striking. Choosing the right variety is about more than looks. It's about lifestyle. If you travel often or forget to water, go for the hardy types. If you're a nurturing soul who loves to check in daily, maybe try a variegated version that needs a bit more light and love. But don't stop at looks. Check the leaves. Are they firm, upright, free from brown spots or mushy edges? Gently peek at the roots if you can. Mushy, blackened roots spell trouble. Trust your instincts. The healthiest plant doesn't always shout the loudest. Sometimes it's the quiet one in the corner saying, "Take me home. I'm ready to grow with you." Tip 2. The soul of the soil. Creating the right foundation. Now that you've chosen your snake plant companion, it's time to talk about something most beginners overlook: the soil. Think of soil as the emotional foundation of your plant's life. It's not just dirt. It's the environment where roots breathe, drink, and stretch. And for snake plants, getting this foundation right is the difference between vibrant, upright leaves and a slow, silent decline. Snake plants are technically succulents, and that means they hate soggy conditions. Standard houseplant soil? Often too dense. It holds onto water like a secret, and that can lead to root rot, one of the biggest killers of these otherwise tough plants. What your snake plant truly craves is well-draining soil. Light, airy, and fast to dry. Something that says, "I see you, but I won't smother you." If you're mixing your own, aim for something like 75% cactus mix with 25% regular potting soil, or go half and half if that's what you have. Don't stress about perfection, just keep it draining. A sprinkle of perlite or coarse sand helps too. Remember, roots don't like to sit still in soggy emotion. They thrive when given room to move, to breathe, to grow, just like us. Tip 3. Quenching with wisdom. The watering ritual. Let's move into one of the most misunderstood aspects of snake plant care: watering. It sounds simple, right? Water when dry. But here's the catch. Most snake plants don't suffer from neglect. They suffer from too much love, poured straight from a watering can. Snake plants are survivors. They store water in their thick, fleshy leaves like little green camels. That means they don't want to drink every few days. They want you to wait, to watch, to listen. And that's where the real ritual begins. Before you reach for water, touch the soil. Is it dry 2 inches down? Does the pot feel light in your hands? Are the leaves puckering just slightly, feeling a bit thinner than usual? That's your plant whispering, "Now I'm ready." When you water, go slow. You can water from the top, just avoid soaking the base where leaves meet the soil. Too much moisture there can invite mold. Or try bottom watering, letting the roots drink from a saucer. It's like offering a glass of water rather than pouring it over someone's head. Give it 30 minutes, then pour away the extra. Respect your plant's pace. Watering isn't a chore, it's a conversation, a quiet check-in between you and a living thing that knows how to thrive as long as you don't overdo it. Tip 4. Light isn't just light, it's plant psychology. Now let's talk about light, not just the brightness that fills your room, but the kind of light that shapes how your snake plant feels. Because while it's true that snake plants are low-light champions, tolerating dim corners better than most, surviving is not the same as thriving. Imagine being stuck in a dark hallway when your nature is to grow tall and reach for the sun. That's your snake plant in low light. It might stay green, but it won't stretch, won't bloom, won't express its full potential. Give it a sunny spot, near a bright window with filtered light, and watch it begin to unfold, quite literally. New shoots, thicker leaves, deeper color. It responds like a soul finally seen. If your space is dark, don't worry. A simple grow light can act like an artificial sun, gentle, consistent, nourishing. Just 10 to 12 hours a day can make a world of difference. And if you're moving your snake plant outdoors for the summer, ease it in. Harsh direct sun too quickly can cause sunburn, leaving white scars on its elegant leaves. Think of it like introducing someone to a new climate. They need time to adjust. Light isn't just about growth, it's about awakening. It's the invisible encouragement that tells your plant, yes, it's safe to grow here. Tip 5. The right home. Potting and repotting with intuition. Let's shift our focus beneath the surface, to the pot your snake plant calls home. Because just like us, plants respond deeply to their environment. And while snake plants are known for adapting to all kinds of pots, the truth is, the right pot can change everything. First, think about drainage. Your snake plant doesn't like sitting in still water. It needs a pot that lets excess moisture escape, just like a conversation needs pauses to breathe. Terracotta pots are a classic favorite. They're porous, they wick away moisture, and they help balance out accidental overwatering. But if you prefer decorative outer pots, go for inner plastic ones with slotted sides, so the roots can still breathe freely, even inside a stylish cover. And when should you repot? Not on a whim. Snake plants prefer being slightly root-bound, so don't rush to upgrade their pot every season. Instead, repot only when the roots start pushing out from the bottom or the soil begins to dry too quickly. And when you do, go just 1 or 2 inches wider. No need for anything massive. Think of it as giving your plant a little extra room to stretch, not tossing it into a mansion it doesn't need. Your snake plant's pot is more than a container. It's a reflection of your awareness. Listen closely, and it'll tell you when it's time to grow. Tip 6. Propagation. Multiply your peace. There's something magical about propagation, the ability to multiply life with just a single leaf. And snake plants, with their quiet resilience, make this process feel almost poetic. It's not just about creating more plants. It's about sharing, expanding, and connecting. Sometimes with yourself, sometimes with others. There are 2 beautiful ways to propagate a snake plant, by leaf and by division. If you choose the leaf method, snip a healthy one using clean shears. Let it dry and callus for a day or 2, then place the cutting in water, upright and facing the same direction it grew. In a few weeks, roots will begin to sprout like little promises of new life. It's slow, patient work, but worth every moment. Then there's division, perfect for those moments when your snake plant begins to send up pups, offshoots growing beside the mother plant. When that happens, gently remove the soil around the base, trace the connection, and cut at the rhizome only if the pup has roots of its own. Separate them with care, like parting siblings who are ready to grow independently. Whether you're growing more plants for your own space or gifting them to friends, propagation is a way of saying, "This piece I've found, I want to share it." And in that act, your plant becomes more than decor. It becomes a story that keeps unfolding. Tip 7. Feeding lightly, growing strong. Now let's talk nourishment, the quiet kind that fuels growth from the inside out. Fertilizing a snake plant isn't about blasting it with power. It's more like offering a gentle nudge, a whisper that says, "You've got this, keep going." Because snake plants, they're not needy. In fact, over-fertilizing is one of the few things that can actually harm them. Yellowing tips, crispy edges, stalled growth, these are your plant's way of saying, too much, too fast. So instead of feeding frequently, think seasonally. During spring and summer, once a month is enough. And when you do fertilize, dilute it to half strength. It's not a buffet, it's a boost. Stick with fertilizers made for succulents or cacti. These are designed to match the slower, steadier rhythm snake plants live by. And if you're drawn to natural solutions, a bit of compost tea or seaweed extract can do wonders too. Ultimately, feeding your snake plant isn't about forcing it to grow. It's about aligning with its rhythm, supporting it gently, consistently, without pressure. Just like we all grow best, not when pushed, but when encouraged. Let your care be quiet but powerful. That's where true growth begins. Tip 8. Snake plant SOS, healing sick plants. Even the toughest plants have bad days. And yes, even snake plants, those stoic guardians of indoor air, can fall ill. But here's the good news. With a little attention and care, your snake plant can bounce back from most setbacks. It just needs you to notice the signs. Let's say the leaves start drooping, turning soft, or showing blackened edges. That's often a sign of root rot from too much water. Don't panic. Start by unpotting the plant gently and checking the roots. If they're mushy and brown, trim them back with clean shears. Let the healthy parts dry, then repot into fresh, well-draining soil. What about pests? While rare, snake plants can still attract mealybugs or spider mites, especially in dry, dusty corners. Wipe the leaves with a damp cloth and a drop of neem oil, and your plant will soon breathe easier. Sunburn? Yes, that too can happen. White or brown patches on the leaves mean it's getting too much direct sunlight too fast. Simply move it to a softer light and let time do the healing. Healing a sick plant is never just about fixing leaves. It's about restoring balance. And in that quiet, patient process, you'll discover something beautiful. The way your care can turn struggle into strength. Tip 9. Energy and intention. Your plant feels you. And now we arrive at the tip that isn't found on care labels or fertilizer bottles, the energy you bring into the room. Because whether you believe it or not, your snake plant feels you. Not in the way humans do, but in that quiet cellular way all living things respond to energy. Movement, tone, presence. Have you ever noticed how a plant seems to perk up when you spend time near it? Or how it struggles in a forgotten corner? That's not magic, it's connection. Your snake plant doesn't need praise, but it thrives when you slow down, observe it, and truly see it. Maybe it's taking a moment each morning to check its leaves. Maybe it's turning the pot just a little so it catches more light. Maybe it's just being present while you water it, rather than rushing through the task. Some people talk to their plants. Others play music or sit near them while meditating or reading. There's no one right way. What matters is this. Intention becomes environment. The energy you cultivate around your plant becomes the atmosphere it grows in. So don't just care for your plant mechanically, care for it mindfully. Let it remind you to pause, to breathe, to bring presence into your space. Because in that shared stillness, growth happens on both sides. Your plant, your journey. So here we are, back where we began, but hopefully seeing everything with new eyes. That snake plant sitting quietly in your home, it's more than just a leaf in a pot. It's a teacher, a mirror, a living reminder that growth doesn't have to be loud to be real. You've learned how to choose the right one, how to build its foundation with the right soil, how to water it with intention, and give it the light it needs to stretch and thrive. You've learned to feed it lightly, repot it wisely, multiply its calm through propagation, and bring it back to life when things go wrong. But perhaps the most important lesson was the last one. That your presence, your energy, your attention matters, because what you nurture nurtures you in return. So the next time you pass by your snake plant, pause, touch the leaf, smile, and remember, in the stillness of that moment, you are growing too. If today's video resonated with you, help us grow this green-hearted community by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to Earthly Delights. And if your snake plant has taught you something meaningful, share it in the comments below. Your story might just be the light someone else needs. Until next time, keep your space grounded, your heart open, and your roots deep.